UConn 77, Florida 73. A big win in the Garden tonight. UConn moves to 9-1 in the non-con. One more to go, folks, against the Shorthorns of the University of Texas this Friday. One more banana peel to slip on before we head into Big East play. Some huge performances from a variety of folks tonight, but most importantly, us. Huge performances from us tonight. I am fucking exhausted. I am a huge pile of monkey shit and had a lot of beers. I've been up since very early in the morning. I'm still not recovered from Kansas. And I'm sweating. I have a 6-pack of beer here. I don't even know why I'm going to drink the beer. I have hot fries. It's a fucking mess. Hurley Mania, help me out.
The best part is he's honestly not drunk. He's just like disassociating. He's tired. It was delirious night at the Garden, as it usually is. A game that started a half hour later because Keba Kaita of BYU decided, what if I break every rim this building has? And we just don't decide to measure it till the middle of the second half. And then that game ends at least with a buzzer beater for BYU. Great for the UConn resume. Much appreciate that comeback. More so, not playing overtime. Thank you very much. And then it got down to the main event, the last three national champs meeting at MSG, and it was just a back and forth slugfest. And UConn got off to a pretty good start. Then Florida came back into it in the first half, and UConn pulled away late in the first half. And then the teams went aside for halftime. And then for the first 5 minutes of the second half, UConn entered the twilight zone.
Probably not as much fun. Wasn't having as much fun as I thought I was in the first half. The second half, the beginning of it at least, not a lot of fun.
No, it was not. And this is a Florida team we've talked leading up to this game for 6 months about the size. And you saw it tonight. And there's only one other team in the country that's that sort of size matchup. And if UConn is fortunate enough to play Michigan, we're going to be doing it in a very big football stadium in Indianapolis, and we'll see what happens. Because there is not another team in the country that rolls out whose name I'll never pronounce. Hanglotland, obviously, at 7'1", Hoff, 6'9", Condon, 6'11", Chinyelu, 6'10", built like a brick shit house. And just size after size after size. And UConn was dealing with it as best they could. But in the second half, it started to get away from them. And Dan Hurley just made the decision with about, 12 minutes to go. Like, I'm going to roll out there Malachi Smith, Jaden Ross, Braylon Mullins, Alex Caravan, and Terrace Reed. And I don't know if this five is going to score, but you're not. And that five got them back into the game, wrestled the thing back on their side, and won it. And it was just an incredible performance by those five guys. A really long stretch with all of them. Obviously, the big news we get pregame is that Terrace is back. Thank God. Terrace is back. A night when you needed him. A night when it wasn't a great night for Silas DeMurray Jr. Let's just be upfront about it. It was in hell.
Boogie Flan, Silas, a lot of NIL money.
Boogie and Silas.
I'm not lighting it on fire tonight for either one of them. That's going to happen. But that's why you get lots of guards.
Yes. They played each other to a scored draw. But thankfully, UConn did not just get one point guard. There are some teams that play in this city that got no point guards.
This is true. This has been known to happen.
But there is a team that played at Madison Square Garden tonight that got two. And Malachi Smith, it was unreal, man, in the second half to help UConn just kind of just get the train back on the tracks. It was a huge 10 minutes from him. 4 assists, no turnovers in the second half for Malachi. Braylon Mullins really came into it. He was just picking up fouls like they were falling out of the sky. It was a classic freshman performance. He gets banged for 2 fouls in the first half, sits 10 seconds into the second half, picks up his third. It was incredible.
It wasn't only predictable, but no, I mean, like, look, I thought Terrace looked really rusty tonight. I thought Braylon looked really rusty tonight, and they should look rusty tonight. The Silas performance was bizarre, but bad game tonight. I thought he was good enough defensively, at least in the second half. First half, maybe not as much.
First half was bad.
Yeah. But look, Malachi, again, seems to like playing in New York City. Something about being from the Bronx, playing for UConn, gets guys like that excited, playing the Garden. Was able to pick up the slack, and everybody else pitched in. And look, man, I mean, we've harped on it a million times. The defense, the defense, the defense, the defense. Defense won them a game on the road in Kansas. I thought defense won them a game tonight again against Florida, right? In a situation that the way the game was kind of unraveling I don't want to use the word unraveling, but the way that it was sort of progressing didn't really seem to be on our favor. And they were able to, stop the tide. It wasn't a sexy win and getting style points tonight. But, I don't know, man. I feel like if we had sat here in, October, and we said, going into the Texas game, we would be down Terrace for almost the entirety of the non-con. We would be down Braylon Mullins for almost the entirety of the non-con. Solo Ball was shooting about 28% from three. Silas DeMary was not quite plugged into the wall yet. I think our suppositions about how the season would be going would not be very sunny. But yet here they are, gutty, and a lot of elbow grease. Just kind of outworking teams. And right now, 9-1 with one more to go, and they could get through this hell gauntlet of 6 teams. Knock on wood. See what we do on Friday.
Against the Fighting Michael Dells.
But look, if you told anybody 5-1 through this stretch in the non-con in the preseason, I think everybody would be thrilled with that. So I guess I'm feeling good.
Yeah, and I'll shout out Alex, who I was really hard on privately. I mean, there's breaking news. He played 39 minutes tonight. He played the entire second half. And at halftime, I was just a little nervous because it reminded me of with the Arizona game when they're facing a team with crazy size. In the Arizona game, he only took 4 shots without Terrace, of course, it made all the matchups weird. Tonight they had Terrace, but Terrace gets in a bit of foul trouble. And so at halftime, Alex only has 2 field goals. And I'm just concerned that is this going to be the same thing tonight because I want Alex taking the second most shots on the team. And then the first 5 minutes of the second half are bad for everybody.
Yeah. Right.
Alex had the great heads-up play to make the steal and then just doesn't dunk it, and it goes the other end, and I'm losing it. But he finds it in the second half, and he's key to the big unit that really got them over the line. Alex in the second half, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, hit a couple of NBA threes despite playing in a game at MSG that does not have an NBA three-point line. Old habits die hard. He was great. And also Solo is the leading scorer. He 6 of 14 from 3, 19 points, almost all of the damage in the first half. He hit his only field goal in the second half was a huge 3 when Florida, to their credit, for like the 15th time, was like trying to pull back into it. Yeah. So great out of him to get Solo going, especially at the Garden. I mean, 3 for 8 from 3 from him feels wonderful, given the way things have trended. But he was great. Alex was great. I thought Braylon Mullins in the second half, once he stopped fouling people, was really good.
Yeah, I mean, made a lot of tough shots. So did Solo, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of tough twos tonight. We're not a mid-range team. We've been taking a lot of mid-range shots. We've been making a lot of mid-range shots. So I'll take it for now. I still think the offense, I don't know exactly the right kind of adjective to describe it, but still looks clunky. It's functioning.
Yeah.
It scores points. The guys that need to be contributing kind of find the ways to contribute to it. And I'm still like a big believer. I think in a month this is going to be fucking a bonkers offense. But it's been enough to kind of get them to where they want to be. I think they're what right now? 16th in KenPom in offensive efficiency.
17th as of. Oh no, I'm sorry, 14th. Up to 14th in offense. Still 7th in defense. Still 7th in KenPom overall, which is fine.
Yeah, which is where they would need to be defensively. And I've got I hope people aren't starting to pull the Tristan card with Malachi at this point. It's been, I think, back-to-back sloppy performances from him, but he's going to figure his way out through this. I'm not really worried about it. He'll find some consistency there. And look, I mean, Malachi hasn't been exactly consistent either. In spurts, there are spurts where he looks like a chicken with his head cut off. But I do think they are able just to find enough at the guard position and the facilitation piece between the two of them and combined performances to make it work. And I think, as we get into Big East play with the schedule softening up considerably, they're going to have a lot of opportunities to iron it out. I am a little down in the dumps about the lack of competition in conference. I don't want to get Gonzaga. That worries me. But that's a worry I have. But the guys figuring the offense out and doing what they need to do is they'll get there. They got a lot of guys coming back and a lot of pieces that just impact everything. And we've said this 1,000,001 times. This offense has, I think, always the last 3 or 4 years been, German sports car. It's European engineering. When it is going great, it is. You're not going to find a lot of things at this level that are going to look better than our offense does. When one piece, a tiny piece, falls off, it can look clunky and be a little jittery. And I think right now there's just so many moving parts to this, with getting Terrace back in the fold and getting Braylon's feet wet and getting Solo online and trying to take some of the pressure off of Alex having to do a lot of different things that I think, again, in a month or so, this is going to look like a completely different thing.
Yeah, and I think the biggest takeaway I had tonight in terms of Terrace coming back was he looked like Terrace.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Illinois game where it's, Terrace is out there and might need a wheelchair.
Yeah, no, there was no running up and down the court like somebody stuck a fire poker up his ass. Much more sure on his feet, looked explosive. There was a couple. Chinyalu's a fucking unit.
Oh,
and there were some times where I thought Terrace physically, I don't want to say manhandled him. That's probably over the top, but there were parts tonight where he definitely looked like by far the more physical of the two of those guys. And it just doesn't matter. We're not going to see a guy remotely close to that physical down low. And
or the other four,
maybe even the rest of the way. I can't even in the tournament, unless we see Chinyalu and again, Florida and Arizona again, and probably Michigan, that's really.
Duke, if they had to do Cameron Boozer, that wouldn't be fun. But he's also 18.
Yeah,
so
it's a little different.
Physically going to kill you.
Yeah, that's a different. It's not a post. It's more of a wing thing. But I think, if that's the worst of what he's going to see and held his own with 12 points, coming in cold, man, you just got to feel really good about it. It doesn't look great yet. I definitely think there's I don't feel as supremely confident that this team is the Ferrari that I thought the 2023 and 2024 teams were coming out of the non-con. But I feel they got a chance to get there. Yeah. It hasn't looked like it yet. And really kind of impossible to argue with the results, man. I really think if you talk to UConn fans coming out of this fucking hell stretch, potentially 5-1, I would have been very happy with 4-2, thrilled with 5-1.
Yeah, and I thought Eric Ryba played great tonight as well. Yeah. As all that time he played, put him in a position where late in the game, trying to close it out. We'll get to that. They're willing to, when Terrace picks up the fourth foul, they're willing to put Eric in there, and he was fine. The three was great, awesome, big shot to see him knock that down. Eric, 15 minutes, 9 points, 2 rebounds. If you're into plus minus, Terrace was plus 13. Eric was -8. It's an awful matchup. And they held their own. I say they held their own. They were pretty good at the half. They were in an okay spot on rebounds. Rebounds at the half, they were only -4. In the second half, they were -8. Yeah. So it got worse. But other than that, just a great win. They overcome, of course, Xavier Lee's first non-complete dog shit night was against UConn.
Yeah, that's the guy that you're if he's going to beat you, you're just whatever.
He can't step backs.
Can't throw water in a well. Just a fucking terrible start to his season. And of course, he decides to do whatever the fuck he decided to do tonight against us.
A lot of free throws. Really 9 free throws.
But just kind of one of those freaky deaky, whatever. But They shut the water. I don't want to say off, but to a substantial stream with significantly less damaging stream with a lot of the other big power pieces. I mean, Boogie Fland was a 5-alarm tire fire tonight. Him and Silas were in hell.
He was way worse than Silas.
With each other, by the way, at times. And that's going to happen. But, look, overall, I was pretty thrilled with the win. The one narrative I don't want to have come out of this, I know it's going to. I know exactly fucking where people are going to go. That's going to be, can this team close games?
Yeah.
And guys, they won the fucking games against 2 top 10 teams.
Yeah.
All right. So, first of all, fucking relax. You know who else had a hard time closing those games out? BYU and fucking Florida. So Florida's 5-4 right now. Not the best turnout for them.
You haven't even seen the quote. Todd Golden, post game. We counted the 5-second thing in our locker room. It wasn't long enough.
Yeah. Well, if Dan said that would be a national story. So
that is 2 major neutral site games in which UConn's opponent has had the ball down 3 with 10 seconds left and failed to even get a shot off. So that's funny.
Got work to do on the inbounding, the basketball. Also, people that need work inbounding the basketball, the entire rest of the fucking country, apparently. So, I don't want to get, hyper sensitive about what it is that we might or might not be doing at this point. I'm going to take these non-con wins and just lap them up. I do not need style points from them. We are going to have so many opportunities to cheese our metrics in this abominable conference that we're playing in right now this year, that you're going to see plenty of style guys. So take these, smile, enjoy, go home, get in bed, wake up tomorrow. It's a new day, and you're going to be feeling great because the UConn Huskies have somehow, some way, in spite of it all, gotten through one of the most brutal stretches of a UConn schedule in the history of the program.
Yeah, I enjoyed, but I want to shout him out, Jaden Ross as well. When Dan said enough is enough with the Xavier Lee thing, and he just put Jaden Ross on him. And it felt like you were, it felt like gilding the lily. I don't think we needed that overwhelming a defensive performance on Xavier Lee, but he was like, I'm smothering this.
I gotta be honest with you. I thought Dan was actually this is a very un-Dan game coaching wise. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Where he just was kind of fucking, this is not going where I want it to. Yeah. So I am going to do something fucking weird.
Yeah.
And was willing to go weird and a lot of things. I thought it was a great game plan overall today. We didn't execute in places, but the contingency plans were very clear in terms of what they were doing. They really did a good job of adapting the situations in the game as it kind of rolled itself out. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple, moments where we're up 8 or 9, where they could have probably stretched that lead and put them to bed. But guys, they're the defending national champions this year, and we are not. And teams like that tend to find ways to make things increasingly difficult for you. So, I mean, hats off to them. I thought they played arguably their best game of the year so far. Yeah. I mean, they were good at Duke.
I mean, their last 2 games, they're the most misleading 5-4 ever.
Oh, they're going to get. I mean, we'll see how the SEC plays out, but man, oh man, that fucking scares the shit out of me as a 4 or 5 seed, or as a fucking weird 6 or 7 seed if they pick up a couple more losses. But man, oh man, that is a team that is a bracket buster and a half down the line.
I will say this. I agree with you. They have a game Saturday. Shout out to Jared Cutler. That is very dangerous. George Washington is a good team, and they play them in Sunrise, where the Panthers play. Florida should win that game. That is not going to be fucking easy.
Yeah.
And after that, they finally get a couple bye games before they go into the SEC. I think they may have whiffed. I mean, it didn't look like it tonight that they whiffed on Lee. If they can get,
they don't have the shooting they did last year. I mean, that's really crystal clear. The 3-point shooting is not there in the way and manner that it was last year. And Clayton was just a fucking killer. There's just guys that you see go through tournament runs, and you're like, yep. Like
Yeah.
the difference last year when they got through us was Clayton. And I just don't kind of have that guy. But that doesn't mean I don't think that they can't maybe get there towards the end of the year. Although, like, I have my biggest worries with them is going to be the size in their backcourt. It's crazy to say that about their front court. Is the size and the shooting going to be there with Boogie and Xavier heading into the tournament? I haven't seen it yet. It's not to say we won't see it at some point, but I haven't seen it yet to really buy into them as like a bona fide national title contender. But I'll tell you, I do not want to see that team as a 4 seed stuck in our bracket like out west or something.
Yeah, no thanks. Once is enough. The two biggest problems they have is they're 342nd in the country shooting threes. They're 27.3% from three. And they're bottom 60 in the country in turnovers that aren't steals. They just commit shot clock violations. They don't inbound the ball. Because they don't have size in the backcourt. And that's my one concern with them. Because I do think they have a great coach, weird guy. They have enough size for days, and they're going to be a bear in the SEC. I think they're going to be near the top of the league. But it's the most misleading 5-4. Give credit to Todd Golden. They've scheduled tough. I mean, they're 5 points.
It's going to be a fucked up league this year.
Oh, it's going to be so weird.
Think of it being like Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida,
Alabama, Arkansas.
Arkansas
looks fine.
Like everybody's fine, but like nobody's like
Vanderbilt, who nobody thinks is.
Vanderbilt might be.
Vanderbilt could be a 1 seed. I don't think they'll be.
They're saying that they could be right now, but we'll see what happens when they taste a little better competition. But that is going to be a wild league this year. Like, I don't know. We'll see if Kentucky and Ole Miss decide to continue to play basketball. There's just so many fucking. That is
those
like
two programs literally may decide that I'm good.
That program, that entire conference right now is like fucking crack house of a basketball league. Like if you were to ask me who I thought was going to win that league, I'd probably say Alabama today, but like I don't feel good about that.
Right. Yeah.
Like I think I've seen the most from their guards, but like it's still, I mean, Alabama is still fucking Alabama, which is shoot first, ask questions later. And so I don't know. It's going to be a really interesting kind of path heading forward in that league, but I expect some teams to take some weird losses in that conference this year. It's going to be it's not the league that it was last year, but man, I think it's going to be the most frustrating league as a fan.
So messed up. There's going to be some disgusting losses that are going to drive people insane. Missouri goes on a random 8-game winning streak.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody in that league. They're fucking all either imposters or diamonds in the rough. Tough to tell at this point. But I can tell you with confidence, our league is a steaming pile of monkey shit.
Oh, so bad. Villanova, try not to get yourself killed.
Michigan scares the shit out of me.
Michigan's terrifying. I don't even hold that against Villanova.
Michigan looks like we did in 23 and 24. I mean, they are fucking manhandling teams. So, I mean, we'll see how it continues with them, but that's the only other team that I'm looking at right now, and I'm like, oh boy, man, I don't know how the matchup is, but like, I don't know. We'll look at what we look like in 2 months because we're going to have plenty of opportunities to iron out the wrinkles. They will have no opportunities to iron out the wrinkles. So we'll see.
We'll see how it looks. UConn 77, Florida 73. I think it's about time you bring some people in on the Martin Russell's Wiener Weiner line. Can you do this ad read from memory?
Folks, it's time to get to the meat of tonight's show, and by that, we mean the Martin Russell's Wiener Weiner line. We're going to be taking calls and check-ins here for the next hour, so anybody wants to get in, say something stupid, delirious. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure some of you are on a train. Some of you are probably unconscious. Others of you are feeling extraordinarily left out. So if you are feeling lonely, anxious, just want to say some stupid shit into a microphone, this is your chance. Go ahead, call in, request up, and we'll get you rocking and rolling here.
Watching him do that with no read while holding a Peroni
I'm in bed, guys. Hurley Mania is
separate beds.
I'm in my bed while he's holding the mic. I have a Peroni with some hot fries and my phone next to me.
You should plug that in.
I feel like Queen of Sheba right now.
Okay. That's beautiful. We'll go through here. We'll get there. I've got Jake. I've got Connor. Jake Fenner, I know you were covering the event at the Garden tonight. What were your thoughts?
I'm going to go ahead and pull a Jaden and drop my story in here. And it's really funny that Hotballs mentioned the 23 non-con because I asked Dan about what he thinks of where he feels about the team at the moment, and he said, as you can now see in the tweet above, that he thinks that based on injuries, based on the slate that they put together, that this, if they pull out the win against Texas on Friday, that they're projected to have, that they are currently going through a better non-conference performance, that it would be a more impressive non-conference performance than going undefeated in 2023. And I think a lot of that comes from like the moral victory idea, like that not everybody has been healthy and they're still able to pull out these wins and these performances. And I think so I forget which one of you talked before about like the German sports car thing. I think that right now, when the team is like barely healthy and they're still able to pull things out, like I think it's solid. It's hard to compare to this team to any of the past three teams. They're like definitely better than 25. Definitely not there with 24 because I don't think this school will ever produce a team as good as 24. But, like, comparing it to 23, like, you can, like, this is at a point right now where, like, the defense is good. Defense is very good. You can probably win some good games on this defense. Dan said, I think everybody that I spoke to this evening mentioned rebounding as a thing that they really need to work on going forward. But, if rebounding is the thing that needs major fixing, and you're in game, what, is this game 9 or game 10 of the season?
10. You
can work on that. This team has the size to be able to work on that. I talked to Eric Ryba at the end of the game, and he said that rebounding is one thing that he's been highlighting and working on, and he's been getting better at that in the last couple of games. But I mean, that's a solid performance. Like, yet again, have to dig it out, but they ask how many as much as they ask how. So that's really sad. I'd rather be in this position than in Florida's position because dear God, does their backcourt look really suspect.
Yeah, I thought tonight was maybe the best game it played, but it's still
like that's definitively Xavier Lee's best game that he's ever played in a Florida uniform. He looked phenomenal in that game, and even then, he still shot 5 for 14, 1 for 7 from 3.
Yeah, it's a lot of free throws.
And we fouled him like a fucking slapping a saloon door in his ass.
Yeah. Shout out our good buddy James Breeding, who had a whale of a fucking night.
Every single time he steps on the court, it is the James Breeding show. He loves to get in there and make it about him. Like, and I would say this on any space. I would say this to any team. It was really, for a moment, very funny listening and hearing and watching Florida fans go through the James breeding experience for maybe the first time. They were losing it because they started to call shit that they did not call in the first half. And it was...
It was a shit show in officiating performance tonight. Like, they called a lot of stuff that wasn't foul. There was a lot of stuff that were fucking was assault that didn't get called. I mean, I guess it comes all out in the wash, and that's what we like to do as sportsmen. But, oh my goodness, man. That was a absolute gong show of an officiating performance last night. Tonight, from the Big East's best.
Best that we have. Please be kind to them.
When I heard Shows, I was like, okay. And then I heard Breeding, and I said, dear God. And then I heard Pettigrew, and I was like, sure. Why not? If we're going low, let's go all the way to the bottom.
Do you think this is, Harley Manning, you think this is the best non-con performance they've ever had?
I think it is because I went and looked at the 2023 team. I mean, their road win was Florida in the first year under Alex Gold or Todd Golden when they've stunk. When Donovan did the Gator jump, which is great.
I think it definitively is.
This team won at Kansas. We may have mentioned it.
Yeah, well, it's not even just the Kansas game. It's 4 top 20 wins.
Yeah, the teams are much tougher.
It's the Kansas win. It's beating Devonta in Boston, right? So like the number 1 recruit in the incoming class, right? It's fighting back against Arizona when you don't have a healthy center and you really throw your freshman center feet first into the fire for the first time, and then you don't also have your freshman. It's going into the Garden the first time and pretty much beating the doors off of what I think is a Sweet 16 at minimum caliber Illinois team, right? And then you do this. I think this is, first of all, applause to the coaching staff and to Tom Moore for scheduling this non-conference schedule, because it's clearly got them very ready for whatever word or number or letter grade you want to assign to this Big East this season.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I think you could also throw this entire group of players into a McDonald's bouncy house and ball pit. Probably also prepare them for the Big East schedule.
Very true.
Look at this year.
League's struggling, folks.
But yes, they needed these wins up front, and they got the big ones that they needed.
Yeah, up against. I think this is probably the best front court that they've faced. I think it's the best front court they might face all season. I believe and I agree with Dan when he said that Condon is probably lottery pick potential. That kid looks good. I think he's going to be very interesting going into the league. That Arizona front court, also very good. I'm forgetting the name of the Lithuanian guy. Like, he's very good at grabbing boards, but I think he was
I'm guessing
slightly... Lithuanian guy, not Komopi.
I know who on Arizona. I thought Han Lotkin was Lithuanian all of a sudden. I thought we were talking about Florida again.
No, sorry, I was thinking of Arizona.
Well, my guy Urban Klopzar, who somehow played 17 minutes for Florida, I didn't even know he was on Florida. But on Arizona, I can pull that up because Florida has played Arizona and UConn now, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would be referring to Ivan Karchenkov.
Yeah.
No, he's German.
No, Karchenkov's the guy from Germany.
So,
he's there from Munich.
Perfect. You mean Matevas Krivas. Krivas was the guy who was killing UConn earlier in the game.
Krivas. Yep.
Yeah, so Krivas, I think Florida has the best front court in the country. I know what the team's record is. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
They're
guy good.
After guy.
And if
that was a team that, like, down in the paint was going to rinse us on the board. But the way that we play and bombing the threes and a lot of the mid-range, like, we give up long, low rebounds. So really the rebounding performance for us comes a lot more down to our wings and our guards' ability to rebound long shots and create second chances. And and take possessions off the board for them. I thought, all things considered, I thought we did a pretty good job. And, the final number doesn't look good, but I'm kind of like, cautious to like poo-poo the performance.
Yeah. I mean, points in the paint, only 38-34 for Florida. Oh, I mean, to play that even enough, the rebound, they end up getting out rebounded by 12 tonight, but it's important to know that at the half, the rebound margin was only 4. And that's part of why I felt good, because I remember in the Arizona game, Dan's point was like, I don't care what the size difference, you can't get out rebounded by 20. Tonight, they got out rebounded by 12. Most of it's the second half, though. So I thought a really great performance given the size difference and a great win. Thank you, Jake. I'm just going to cycle through because it's 2 a.m, but appreciate you.
Just one very quick thing. You mentioned Boogie Fland. Florida has a record of 1-4 in games where Boogie Fland has 3 or more fouls. He has fouled out twice, tonight and against TCU when they lost. He got 4 fouls against Duke, 4 fouls in the loss to Arizona. The one win that they have when he had 3 fouls was a 78-76 win over Florida State.
You know who could really use Boogie Fland? The Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say St. John's for a half second, but yeah,
John's.
Kentucky.
I think even him just fouling
Definitely
out
Kentucky
would be an improvement for what they're fucking running.
Jackson's figuring it out, even though apparently he wants to quit.
Yeah, Ian Jackson on the year. Is he at 10 assists yet? Are we there yet? Point guard of the future.
Trying to watch as little of St. John's as possible these days.
That Ole Miss game on Sunday was.
That was so sloppy that it's one of those games that's just almost like damaging to college basketball on an actual stage.
I'm glad it was on Peacock. Like, we didn't need that in front of a paywall.
To see that shit happen.
Ian Jackson has 8 assists on the season.
10 assists in a game. Look at that. Look at you, Mr. Ambitious. Getting ahead of yourself.
Thanks a lot, Jake. Appreciate you, man. I'm just going to cycle through. Have a good night, man.
See you guys.
Connor, you've been very patient. What were your thoughts on tonight's doings?
Thank you. First time, long time, I have to say it. I would echo some of the thoughts about the refs. It was, you can't not speak about them. But honestly, I want to give a shout out to the freshmen. Ryba, I think, especially as Hot Balls has said in recent weeks, is just his improvement game after game is incredible, especially on the defensive end. He provides just such a boost, especially as Terrace has been injured. But even without him, the ability to switch between the two, he had that amazing 3 during the game, which is just a different look that other teams had. I love Reed, obviously, but there was a couple times when he was out there where I felt they were a little too reliant on just kind of dribble handoff screens at the 3-point line. And Ryba is just a little something different. I would love to see Reed kind of be allowed to have that role a little bit more, where you're just on the low block or doing whatever. And then Mullins, man, I mean, I know we're all super excited about him. Has a rough first half. Like, the game looked too fast for him. He didn't seem he was up to it. I felt like that was kind of similar at Kansas as well. But man, that second half, he came out and he seemed determined. Even being in foul trouble, came out. His defense looked infinitely better. He's tracking his guys better on and off the ball. And then offensively, I mean, he was allowed to have his shots, yes, but even when he was out there, I think for minutes 16 to 12 in the first half, after they had that, first round of subs, they just looked like a different team. They came out that first 4 minutes of the game and it was like, holy shit, we're going to, beat the doors off of these guys. And then the next 4 minutes was tough, but Mullins came out, he was just so different in the second half. He looked a little lost in the first half when he was even cutting and everything, but all of a sudden it was like he was getting his spots, he was getting his shots. He looked incredible. I'm sure he's just going to continue and improve it again and again. But again, just to see the guys, not even in a game-to-game, but half-to-half basis improve like that, it's just really, really heartening. I think it says a lot about the coaching staff as well. Just wanted to give them a shout-out, and would love to hear your guys' thoughts about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Ryba, I love Ryba. He's like the teacher's pet. He's like the guy that you just want to have in every classroom. He's got such a huge brain and just learns really well. And, like, you can just tell him to do anything. I mean, you know how many years coaches sit around and they're just like, man, if I just had a wind-up toy on this roster. And I don't even mean that as, like, a degrading thing. I mean, he's quite literally a wind-up toy. You're like, Eric, this is what I need you to do. And Eric will go and do it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I do this coach. And like, he's out there posting up on the low block. I mean, he's just had so many elements of his, we've seen so many layers to his game already. And like the 3-point thing, we kind of joked around like, I was going to be interested to see how much leash that he was going to have with that, earlier in the season. And I don't think there's any reason to not let him stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Like he can hit that shot. And we've said this numerous times about him. Like he is the kind of guy that Dan has wanted at a 5 for the entirety of his time at UConn.
Well, it was almost a meme last year. It was like, oh, is Donovan ever going to be able to take a 3 or not? And then you get a guy like Ryba, and it's like, oh my God, that just completely it changes everything. If they're giving him like 15 feet of space at the top of the key, it's like
he did
perfect.
Successfully, right? But like that wasn't the sweetest shooting stroke exactly. Whereas you can tell Ryba's had plenty of experience stretching the floor. Like that's only going to get better. I mean, with Mullins, like the whole family was here tonight. Like this is, his first real time sort of getting the opportunity to have some extended minutes. And like, he's just one of those guys, like, I mean, it's in a good way. Like Braylon's a predator. He's not a guy that's going to like, not the Florida coach kind, but like, he's the kind of guy that's going to go out and assert himself. And like, it may look, he's a freshman. I think he was a little overzealous, especially defensively early on. I just think he wanted to like get in the game and start to make some shit happen. And, that'll all smooth itself out. But I've been really just impressed with his ability, just even on limited minutes in huge games. I mean, on the road in Lawrence, Kansas, right? At Madison Square Garden against the defending national champs. Like these are not small spots. And so I'm almost happy to go watch some of those guys go out and fuck some things up and let them have some extended minutes to kind of figure some shit out and put things together. And I thought he did a great job tonight of putting it back together tonight. I thought he was, kind of almost overly impressive against Kansas tonight. Came out, struggled a little bit, had to pull it back together, figure some shit out in the second half. Like that's the kind of stuff you want to see from a guy ostensibly in his third college basketball game, right?
Yeah.
That was almost even more impressive to me. I mean, to have your first college basketball free throws ever away at Kansas. And then that's such a high. And then to have kind of a shit half, I'm not going to lie, in the first half. But, be able to, pull yourself together, figure it out, and then be as amazing as he was in the second half. I mean, that just goes miles. And then I'll just say with Ryba, too. I mean, it's so – I think that when we haven't played well this season, the issue has been fouls defensively. As we were saying, like, the defense this year has really carried us as opposed to the offense, which is still – incredible. We're an incredible team. It's whatever. But I mean, Ryba, I never feel that he's the past couple games is going to unnecessarily foul a guy where it's, what got us in trouble in the first half. It was, Silas reached in or, they had a couple of shit calls against Mullins or whatever. But, Ryba just somehow has this ability to not even get himself in those situations, which is just, as a freshman, I just think it's just basketball IQ you can't really teach.
I thought the thing that was most impressive about it was at no point did he look overwhelmed or overmatched when he would have had every right to. That every matchup there is hell. and he looked fine.
No, he's a skinny 19-year-old against these guys who are huge in comparison to him, and he was there.
He stayed in front of him. Chinielu's built like a brick shit house. Like, sometimes it's just not going to work. But he stayed in front of him. He didn't look like he was drowning. Like, the first 5 minutes of the Arizona game, he looked like he was drowning. And he just found it and figured it out. And since then, he's looked nails. And tonight, with a tough matchup, he battled, man. He sometimes, the opponents got buckets on him and rebounds, but he got his too. And he hung in there, and he looked ready to go blow for blow with the best front court in the country, man. And now we're about to play fucking Xavier and DePaul and Xavier again. Like, he's so much better off for those really shitty games where we didn't have Terrace. And I'm really impressed with his defensive presence so far. The three was great, especially because I can categorically say this was the one matchup where him hitting that three in no way was going to change the opponent's defensive plan. Florida was like, fucking, you can have that. We're going to come bang in here.
Yeah, that 15 feet was going to be there for him no matter what, but it was like...
Yeah, first half when Xavier Lee's hitting fucking crossovers and putting Silas on the fucking floor, and I think UConn was like, all right, let's see how long this shit fucking works. But yeah, great night from the two freshmen. One thing with Mullins is it's back-to-back. Now, Friday, nobody gave a shit. It was East Texas A&M, right? He did the same thing on Friday, where his first half was really rough, really stop-start. And in the second half, you could just see him take over and figure it out. And it's a normal freshman progression thing, but, like, the next step's going to be getting him ready out of the gate. But you can, to see him in the games, you can see him figuring the shit out and the spaces to go. And tonight, there weren't threes there for him. There's just big guys all over the court. And he was going to places where we don't love the shots. I don't love the mid-range. But he was knocking him down. And you could see him in tonight's game, which is different from the East Texas A&M game. He had to figure it out when, like, everybody on the floor is a 22-year-old, 6'10" man. And you are a 17-year-old from Greenfield, Indiana. And he found spots. And he was great defensively when they had that unit in to get the game turned. So extremely proud of Braylon with a lot to come. And I know his whole family was here and it was cool for them. I think it's his first ever game at MSG. I'm pretty sure. McDonald's.
And that's just so cool. Like, I know the program's been so successful the past few years and it's easy to get jaded, but to see real game progression, not even game to game, but half to half with some of these guys is just such a gift. And then last thing, and then I'll mute myself, but Alex, I just felt was really great today. He didn't have a lot of space. I mean, every time this guy was cutting, he was getting banged by 3 different guys. Every time he set a screen, the same thing. And yet, he fought all game on defense. He came up with a couple of big threes when he needed to. I would have liked him to have been able to take more shots, but that's a conversation for a different day because we got the win. But I mean, shout out to him. He should, governor of Connecticut. But I hand it back over to you guys.
Thanks, man. And by the way, Braylon did play in the Illinois game. So Braylon has played more games at Madison Square Garden than Gamble Pavilion, which is funny. So
Fieldhouse to Lawrence.
Allen Fieldhouse.
2 MSG games and the most important game of all of them against East Texas A&M.
But Friday, he finally gets People's Arena.
The real venue. By the way, Malachi Smith right now up to 31 assists with only 6 turnovers against top 25 opponents this year.
It's pretty good. It's good.
Better than it was last year.
That's more than 8 assists against everybody. So, thank you, Connor. Appreciate it. Get a cycle through here. Oh, we spent pregame with him. Little Red, how amped up are you at 2:23 in the morning? Mr. I'm only a listener. Here he is.
Listen, guys, I'm absolutely dying right now. I got about 45 minutes left in the drive. And the only thing in my head that I'm thinking about is you and Hot Balls sharing a mic in a hotel room right now. Both of you probably shirtless. I don't know. I just can't get that out of my head. Mike sounds great, by the way. Mike sounds great. Don't reveal if you're shirtless or not. Either way, it's ingrained in my head.
Yeah, we're pantsless. That's different, though.
Pantsless. Got it. The only thing I really want to like point out, obviously comparing apples to apples last year to this year, noticeable difference that there's obviously a focus on the defensive end as compared to the offensive end. I think we have the tools on the offensive end, and we just realized that that's going to come in time. On top of that, the Braylon and the Malachis, and we haven't gotten the best of Silas. I think the best of Silas is yet to come. Aside from the defense and like the offense kind of just really not being what we expect, a considerable effort to just have guys in there that don't turn the basketball over. I think that's also very refreshing to start the year. And with the adversity that we've had to this point, where Terrace not 100%, not like Terrace's injury or ailments are, not going to be with him for the rest of the year because hamstrings just don't disappear. I think to have the adversity we've had kind of escape this going into Texas, and showing the cards that we've had against the non-con, it's been a great success to this point. We've learned a lot about ourselves. Ribe is basically Rafe LaFrance out there. I love what I've seen from him. Really, really calm out there. All around, Braylon, I think a little overwhelmed on the defensive end. That's going to come with time. But really, really do love what I'm seeing on the defensive end, because I'll take defense over offense. Last year was insufferable. The offense is just going to come in time. Silas has yet to kind of lock in. We're getting great minutes out of Terrace, Ribe. But, I really do think the best is yet to come in the offensive end, and really loved what I've seen to this point.
Yeah, thanks. It's wild to me how far they've come defensively with largely the same, not exclusively, but largely the same guys. We were talking preseason, can they make this a top 25 defense? And from the rip, it's been a top 10 defense.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
They needed to be top 10 to win the national title. I thought that was a full stop necessary thing for them to do. But it's largely with a lot of the same supporting cast. But also, I'd argue just the physicality and the length is also just a completely different, animal with this. Obviously, having Silas's length in the backcourt, Braylon, playing Jaden a little bit more consistently, and Jalen, Terrace with a year to learn how to watch basketball players off ball.
That's
always,
first for everything.
Always helpful. But a backup center that has more length, and I think a more of an offensive skill set and just more physical than Sam. So I love Sam, but just a different, just a different animal there. And, it also helps to have, more than one functioning guard at a time.
And I also think it's not like we're really great on the glass right now either. I think we're really good right now at going in and tipping the ball out and extending plays as best we can. I think we're really athletic in that regard. I would love to see us get on the glass, maybe on the offensive end, get some more second chance points. Obviously, the free throws weren't necessarily in our favor. At one point, with a couple minutes left, we were out. What was it, 28 free throws to 7? I'm missing.
Yeah, it was 28-7. It was wild.
Absolutely, bro. I think I posted a picture, but I'm just absolutely delirious at this point.
I remember when they put it up on the scoreboard, I was like, "Wow, that is."
Yeah.
I knew it was drastic, but holy shit.
And also shout out to everybody on this call. We're going to be absolutely dog shit at work tomorrow. I don't know about you guys, but my boss exposed that I was a little red on Monday.
Oh no.
To the rest of the office. There was a PowerPoint presentation on me, so that was unfortunate. But I'm going to be an absolute no-show at work tomorrow. So shout out to everybody on this call too for being a no-show. Not really looking forward to waking up in a couple hours.
Yeah, tomorrow's my last PTO day of the year, so.
No, boy, ride it out.
There's still 6 in the bank. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
You go to.
That's what I'm going to do, but I don't know what left.
You're going to suddenly be at so many Providence games just laughing.
I'm going to be at practice. That's what I'm going to be at. Just holding some dummies. Taking German elbows right to the mush.
Thank you, Little Red. Safe travels home. Stay awake till you get home. So.
All right, boys. Thanks.
Good to see you tonight. Who did I got? I tried to bring in one person, and they're not here. Jaden, I tried to bring in. See if you can request back in. One man who I know wants to talk. Oh, I got Jaden. Have I got you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening. It's late. Did you? You sound wonderful, Jaden.
I sure as hell don't feel wonderful.
Oh boy.
Well, Little Red kind of segued me in. I got 4 weeks worth of vacation time, and I actually burned the sick day for tomorrow, so I figured with me writing, which I'll do as soon as I get done here, and needing a break after all the travel I've done.
Are you still at the garden?
No, I'm home.
I was really hoping that you were still there at 2 in the morning.
I got home at about 25 to 2.
Okay. But so did we. So
yeah, so
a hell of a night at the garden between the last 3 national champs that you
it was. It was, and
I haven't seen a ton of Dan's post game stuff because we were pizza and walking. I saw he wants the People's Bank Arena on fire Friday for the Texas game because the team deserves it. I want that arena on fire for non-team related reasons, but that's beside the point. What was kind of the?
Everybody else gonna have to carry my fat ass on Friday because
I can barely hear you, Hopples. What the fuck's going on?
I had the mic. Hold on.
No. I said everybody better be on fire on Friday because Hot Balls is running on E. I'm going to be coming in with a quarter tank at best on Friday.
Understood.
Yeah, but Jaden, what was kind of the? I hate to kind of lead you into something post game. What were Dan's and Todd Golden's thoughts?
Oh, I didn't get Golden. I followed them. I followed UConn into the locker room and got Braylon and Ryba.
Nice. How were the 2 freshmen feeling after it? I mean, all they do is win at the Garden now, though.
Pretty
so
much.
I think this shit's easy.
I think the second piece that I'll have tomorrow is going to be about Braylon really coming more into his own. Connor will have something more on Taris and Eric and the 2 big look, so that'll be coming tomorrow as well. I have a column idea about closing out games and Dan being a little more satisfied than he was a year ago. Got some quotes from Alex and Solo too.
There was a little Seton Hall tonight, just a little bit.
Oh, with the inbounds before the 5-second call.
Listen, I love Jaden Ross more than anybody here.
He's probably the most underrated player on the team now.
He got the ball. That part's great. He then dribbled away. Fine. Then he stopped.
That's true.
And then things got worse. Things got drastically worse. But he was still on the floor for the ensuing possession for the 5-second, I think. Yeah, so he got it back.
He was.
There we go. Got it back. But, they're... Listen, they had... Oh, God, I'll have to count. 6 they had the inbound at the end. 5 of them were fine.
Yeah.
So better than that Seton Hall game last year is like it's all time.
Oh, I know. Well, I do have quotes from Golden because they had the ASAP transcripts tonight, so I can go through that and kind of get a feel for his side too.
I'll take a look. But what? So you got to speak with Braylon and you got
to
speak with Eric. I'm sure in good spirits for both of them. Ryba, especially given there's no time in his life he will have played against a team that big, I would think.
No. They're not going to see anything like that in the Big East, and I doubt they'll see anything like that in the tournament unless they get Purdue again.
Yeah, Purdue. I'll put Purdue on. I know we joke about them, but like in terms of the size thing, Purdue would be an issue.
Yeah, because Painter grows 7-footers on trees.
Yeah, they got a freshman who's crazy.
Yeah, they got a big freshman. The rest of that.
This would have been a perfect time for Jake to ask Eric if he introduced Dan to Donor Kebabs, but I told him that could wait until the open locker room in the tournament.
Donor Kebab talk is waiting for Mark.
Donor Kebabs and for Eric until Big East tournament. I don't write the rules.
Fair enough.
Well, thank you, Jaden. I know your entire life now pivots to Saturday afternoon in Newark. That
Saturday night. It's an 8:00 tip-off.
Oh, please tell me it's on Fox. Please tell me it's Big Fox.
It is not Channel 5 or whatever the Fox affiliate is in whatever parts of Connecticut or New England the rest of you were in. I think it's
Nebraska
FS1.
2-1. Rutgers, Seton Hall. What a basketball contest that shall be.
Yeah, I got Iona Bryant tomorrow night in the Grasso
long
Bowl.
trip. That's a long trip. Jake just tweeted me. I almost did ask him about Thunder Kebab. Good evening, Jake. Thank you. Yeah, that's a long trip to Bryant. Oof.
No, it's in New Rochelle.
Oh, they're at Iona. Okay.
Yeah, the Grasso Bowl.
Right? Oh, that's huge. That should be fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous theater. Well, thank you, Jaden. Feel free to pin your story in here if you have it yet.
If you guys, I have to write it. You guys will probably be gone by the time I finish it. But if I am up,
challenge accepted. You know us.
Oh, I know. Anyway, Sam and Connor will be at the Civic Center on Friday night. I get a well-deserved couple days between Wednesday and Saturday. Love you guys. Let me get to work here.
Love you too, man. Thanks. Take care of yourself. Jaden's the one guy who's been on the road more than us. Like you're all complaining about how tired you are. He's on the road more. He is.
Nobody suffers more than I do. Nobody puts in more work. Nobody puts in more hours. It's all about me.
Always is. Now he's trying to find a bottle opener as we're opening Peronis here. Yeah, the end of game there was fun. You want to? We can laugh about it now, right? Sort of. I wish I had video for this. He's currently rolling around in his bed trying to find a bottle opener. It's on your keys.
It's on my keys. Roll back here.
They fell off the bed. You definitely got it. I'm not even going to repeat that. It's for the best. This isn't a visual medium yet. Because, folks, this will be a visual medium soon. Big news today.
Bracking, as they like to say. We will be in lovely, crystal clear, stunning 4K before you know it.
Our fine sponsors at Store Central who present the show have procured 4K cameras for us, and my first question was, I don't know if 4K is really necessary. Yeah, black and white, something from a distance, maybe a pinhole camera.
Just like a diorama.
That would be great. So yeah, this will become a visual show, for better or, let's be honest, for worse. Very soon. We're going to be at the Donahue show. What's in the safe? Jaden and 6 people maybe get that reference. Tops. But if anybody else wants to request in, feel free. I am aware it is 2:36 in the morning. On the plus side, we did start 2 hours sooner than we did last Tuesday. Less beer, though. Less beer. Just going with Peronis tonight. You can't find his keys. This is unbelievable. He's moving this entire bed around. He can't find the keys. See, I have an AirTag on my keys to avoid this. This is amazing. I realize this is a terrible audio feature, but this is incredible. You found it. He's moved the bed around 3 times. There it is. He found his keys. Unbelievable. Incredible theater. We've done it. The road to Peroni. We're on the road to Peroni. Friday night, your favorite athletic department comes to Hartford.
The Texas Longhorns. Should we preview them?
We can't. I mean, listen, I'm going to say it's not, and we aren't all the way through the gauntlet yet. You have to take them very seriously. They are an SEC team, technically. Texas will be coming in 7-3. Their best win, NC State and Maui. I'll give them credit. I thought NC State was an ACC top-end team. Then I saw Duke, and I have reconsidered. Because Duke is drastically better than everybody else in the ACC. Their best wins, NC State. They have losses to Duke by 15. Not terrible. Arizona State by 1. It's bad. And Virginia by 21. That's 19. At home. Not great. In front of absolutely nobody. at their brand new state-of-the-art arena that nobody goes to.
Pregame spiel is going to be for them. As inspiring as the pregame talks that he gave the Xavier Musketeers.
Is it the one 2 years ago when Xavier came in?
They're going to score.
The best. They're going to score 300. Yeah, but they come in. They'll be coming in with a record of 7-3. They are led by Modest Bogiatitis, the FAU transfer. There was another 7-footer at Florida Atlantic. They found another one, and he is now transferred to Texas. So that's going to be a big test for Eric and for Terrace. Our old friend Dalen Swain, still kicking, still following Sean on the Expendables tour here. Dalen Swain, who is shooting only 30% from three, but having a good year. Tremont Mark still in college basketball somehow. Somehow Tremont Mark is still in college basketball. This is his 6th season of college basketball. He did 3 years at Houston, a year at Arkansas. This is year 2 at Texas. When he started in college, they were in the Southwest Conference. So Tremont Mark comes in as well on Texas. Jordan Pope, who is only his 4th year. So they are experienced. Chendall Weaver, still sticking around through the coaching change. Is the Texas team that 28th in the country in offensive efficiency and 104th in defensive efficiency.
Familiar.
Yeah. They are. I buried the lead. Also featured on your Texas Longhorns, Mr. Simeon Wincher, the pride of St. John's. The man who got off of the rocket before it crashed into Earth. Still kicking. Lucina Traore is still on this team. Oh, Lucina Traore, he went to Xavier and didn't play. I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he didn't play last year. He got hurt. So he was at St. Louis, then Long Beach State. Then he got hurt badly, and he's just like, Sean, I'm with you. Yeah, Traore is the one who blew out his ACL in their exhibition last year. So, Traore, he's kind of getting back into the scheme of things. So that is Texas coming into Hartford on Friday evening. A team that has given up, that has not defended the 3-point line well. That's why their defense is bad. So if Solo has a nuclear night or Braylon Mullins, Friday would appear to be a good candidate. So that is Texas coming into Hartford on Friday. Cash Fraud, you are back with us. You have been very patient. Go ahead.
Okay, between Connor Rush saying that Caravan was getting banged by 3 guys and Little Red talking about you guys being shirtless in the same hotel room, I'm not sure if you're trying to piss off the Big East or maybe ingratiate yourselves.
So listen. Yeah, this isn't really a Catholic League sort of space right now. Maybe it is. I don't know.
But I don't know. I kind of don't. I'm going to piss off Andrea Sweet.
Easy target. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think that this team's the 2024 comparisons. Go back and watch those games from 2024 early season. The team at the beginning of the season was dominant, but they were not the team that ended the season. This team's going to keep getting better. And I have some numbers to back it up. So right now, through 10 games, UConn is 15th in offense and 6th in defense and 6th overall. At the same time, through the first 11 games in 2024, they were 2nd in offense, 25th in defense, and 4th overall. But they actually have a higher Barzag rating. So there's just a couple better teams. But the team is right where you'd want them to be.
Yeah. And speaking of analytics, they are 4th, and it'll change. They're 4th in wins above bubble on Torvik, and that's a huge stat in terms of seeding, and like if this team, because of how absolutely dog shit this league appears to be, if they want to have a chance at being a 1 seed, they have to go 5-1 in this, and just, I mean, they might need to win 17 plus in league, and that's partially because of how good. Like UConn might be the.
If they sweep St. John's, it's pretty much
right. I will say this: UConn might be the 5th best team in the country, even at their level, and that's to me simply because there are 4 teams that are incredible. Iowa State, I'm in. I know you're not. I'm in. Duke, I'm largely.
not in on State. I want to see it again.
That's right. I'm in on Duke. Arizona, I have to be in, even though I'm in the tournament's a different thing because they don't shoot threes. And Michigan looks like a death machine. Well, so, like, I'm not, like, UConn has played great, and they're 5th in the country, and I'm like, fair enough. We went into one by 5 at Allen Fieldhouse. They put Purdue into another galaxy at Mackey, and I really enjoyed watching it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a really good team out of the Big Ten that is going to end up proving to be fraudulent against UConn, and some shitty ACC team is going to make a Cinderella Final Four run.
It'll be Wake Forest. Steve Forbes. That's who I'm picking.
Yeah.
They're like 6 points away from being a top 5 team. Wake Forest. They have Michigan dead to rights. And I forgot who the other one was. Oh, damn it. This is terrible content. Sorry. Wake Forest. They had Texas Tech dead to rights. Now losing at home to Oklahoma is not great. But I think Wake's good. Like, it's Steve Forbes' entire career. If it wasn't for those 2 or 3 games, But so sorry, Cashford, I got you off track. You're talking about the Barthag and their comparison to 24. Yeah, the defense is better than it was at this point in 24. The offense,
it's like 3.5 points better per 100 possessions.
Yeah, the offense isn't as good, and it doesn't look as good, but like that, they've got 2 point guards who just got here, and you can see it in every game. They're slow to read the slips and the lobs, but I think it's gonna get there, and it's harder when Terrace hasn't fucking played. So it's gonna come. I think I'm still all in on Silas. I know tonight was rough, but like this shit. I mean, how we talked about the Tristan Newton discourse for the longest time. It wasn't complaining about him in games like a game at the Garden against Florida. It was some fucking Oregon. Yeah, the Oregon game. Like, so I still think Silas will be fine, but yeah, he's got to get better, and he knows that. And it's getting used to playing with these guys, and they're also integrating Mullins into it. Now Ryba's playing more minutes.
It's hard for me to like individually focus and fixate on one guy when, again, just the way and manner that this offense is executed, you need so many things kind of humming at the same time. And they're trying to quite literally install 2 pieces, get another one jump started, and integrate, essentially the engine and Silas into all this. It's just a lot of shit, man.
Cash Rob, before I go back to you real quick, Connor, you have your hand up. Did you want to say something? Either about the sexual nature of hot balls in this room or anything else?
First of all, sorry I didn't say pause about, the Care Band banging. But second, most importantly, I was very positive about the team earlier. Before we, look forward to Texas and how we like our matchups and everything, we won the game today, but I would like to talk for 5 minutes about, the end of game, the out of bounds plays, the inability to break a press. I know it doesn't matter. I know our offense is ranked in, the top 20 or whatever, but like, Jesus Christ. If these guys are able to run an offense as complex as this, is it really that much to ask to like be able to break a fucking 2-1-2 press regularly?
I will say this.
The one time I will say before, just to end this point, before like the one time that Dan did take the timeout, his last timeout, and he drew up a play, that they broke it incredibly well. They got like a layup or an open, wide open 2 out of it is fine. Every other time, my God, like just look a little less lost. I'm not saying that we have to do it perfectly every time, but like, if we're talking about playing, the Michigans of the world and shit, like I would just like to see us be a little bit better in that regard.
Yeah, two things on it. First, for the people in our Discord and text messages that were complaining about Dan not calling timeouts more on the couple of Florida runs, especially in the early and second half.
Well, thank God he had the
Good thing
timeout for
he
the
had
last
the
time, because
timeouts at the
Jesus,
end,
they needed it.
guys. Because holy shit, as you were getting to, Connor, boy, did we need them. The other thing is they did successfully break it all but one time. They did break it.
Yeah, they also got trapped in a corner like 5 times, and
Yes.
like it's tough.
The idea is to sort of invite the trap so that they can get some other guys open. They're a little slow on the trigger, but like I didn't exactly think Florida looked like flying color. I don't think anybody looks good against full court press at this point. And I think they're, obviously going to put some pressure on us, but like I'm just not at a point where I'm like, I'm not worried about it come March. Like
I'm not worried about it come March either. I just like
I got a bunch of crap.
It's got to be on the record.
Be able to figure this shit out in conference. So
I actually think it's better than it has been the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, it's better than last year. I mean, it is, because last year they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's almost scary about it. It was like it almost cost us the game today, and it's like, well, thank God we had that last time out, because if we didn't, then that's that game gets a lot closer with a lot more time left on the clock.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, but also they are better at it. They're not. It doesn't mean they're going to get good at it. Like I hate to break it to you, I don't think this is.
I would think that the young men who are able to run one of the most complex offenses in the country would know how to do a fucking stack, breakout play that they teach in fucking 8th grade. But
we were actually joking about this on the way back. We actually did see Sage on the way back. We went and got some pizza. We were talking about how ironic it was that probably the two best offensive minds of the last 3 to 4 years in college basketball have some pretty exotic looking inbound.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's the contrast between the two is just, that's what makes it infuriating. If we were a mediocre team or whatever and we couldn't do that, that'd be different. But like, given our offense and Luke and everything, it's like it's insane.
The one they ran, the one before where Jalen turned it over, where Jaden turned it over, the one before that, where they started the whole stack at midcourt, and they came running back full speed, and it resulted in Silas catching the ball a third of an inch from the baseline under.
Oh my God! It's like that's not. That's the exact opposite of what they teach 6th graders not to do. Like, that's just.
This is the worst place to turn the ball over if this goes badly. The worst.
In that scenario right there, I thought Silas was almost too welcoming of the trap coming, and I almost wonder if it's that's his plan, because he likes to take it all in, see the floor, see who's open, and then use that escape dribble to make the pass.
No one should get trapped in the corner. That's what I understand. No.
If you catch it in that bad of a spot, you can't be that welcoming of the trap coming.
I think that some part of this tonight is you have to remember they were doing this against the biggest team in the country. I can't think of a worse team to have to fucking inbound against than Huck and Shinlielu. And it's amazing how Xavier Lee suddenly fucking disappears in a situation like that when you've got to inbound. It's like cyborg. It's hard. And they gotta get better at it, but it's going to be rare that they run into a team that can put them into that situation. I mean, last year Seton Hall made them look like that. Tonight it was Florida.
No, true. I mean, the bodies on Florida Cash, pause on that. But I mean, that's just. I mean, how many other teams are going to run into with that?
Yeah. Florida's inbounds. I mean, their inbound at the end didn't look too good, and they only had to get one, and they couldn't inbound it. I got Todd Golden post game between hitting likes on the gram on 18-year-old co-eds, complaining that it was only 4.7 seconds. Get bent, honestly. Sorry.
You guys showed a lot of restraint this show. I will say I was really impressed. I would have been bringing that up more. So.
Yeah, we made We made some references in the crowd at MSG. I will say this. Florida basketball, more fans than I would have expected tonight. And I know Little Red's driving and hopefully not wrapped around a telephone pole. I was surprised how many fans they had there. They're finally kind of, you're 3 titles in. They certainly aren't exactly getting ready for the college football playoff in Gainesville. No. So I was impressed by the Florida turnout. BYU turnout was great, but you always kind of expect that. And great job by the UConn fans as always.
There was a Florida fan who, when they went a little on like a little run in the first half, hit me with like a 1998 DX suck it like 8 times, like right in the back of my head. That was. I mean, I respect it, but it was just kind of wild to get the suck it.
Yeah, you don't see that one very.
Pretty remarkable by this guy.
The deep bend. He really had to go in there. Yeah.
Pelvic thrust,
And with about 7 minutes to go, so in the 220s, near 226, big fight in the crowd. I didn't see it, but suddenly it was like near the top of the 200s. There was I'll say the Florida fans were getting a little Big East tournament experience there.
They got the Big East experience tonight at
James Breeding, yeah.
And a fight in the crowd. They lost in the Garden. It's just, you got the whole 9 yards.
Just nice to see them get the full experience.
That's all you could ask for them.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Oh, Cash Rod, here's the other thing. Boy, they don't like calling hand checks, do they? You were absolutely incendiary angry, I could see on Twitter when the rare time I looked.
Yes, very angry. It's just so bad.
The grabbing they do on Alex, it was insane.
Did you guys see the picture where I think it was Condon was holding on Braylon Mullins' jersey? They were we had to watch Edie and Devanza shoot free throws repeatedly because no one can guard him. Yeah, but nobody can guard Terrace Reed either. Once he catches the ball deep in the post, nobody can stop him. Call a foul. He's getting mauled down there. He's playing on a bad ankle.
Yeah, no, it was wild, and I'm watching it, and it's just no wonder they're not getting open. Braylon didn't even do a lot of running off curls because I think he saw that and what wasn't getting called, and Braylon was like, "Fuck that! If they're not giving it to Caravan, I've got no shot at getting a call here." It was wild, and Condon's moving on every screen, and then they get Hoff on one. I couldn't believe it. Of all the ones they called, he moves on every screen, and they never call it.
And if you see the one that Ryby got called for, which fair enough, whatever, but
yeah, that was a tackle.
But Golden's jumping up and down right next to the ref, yelling at him to call it. Where's the outrage for that?
Yeah, it's the fine line because if Dan starts complaining about calls, we know what it looks like. And he usually doesn't get them anyway. But the grabbing that this team's got to expect, I think a large part of the offensive air quotes struggles are, and teams know how good the sets are, and teams know they haven't usually got the athletes to guard it. So they're just grabbing the shit out of them. And let me tell you, when we get to the Big East, that shit's going to be turned up to 10. You think DePaul is going to fucking try and guard UConn straight up? No. They're going to gum everything up. And the question is going to be, are they going to fucking call it?
And this is the problem.
Cash Rod, you've been the one who's been on it. And I started noticing it. It's fucking blatant, the shit. And I don't want to complain about refs, but
I just want to watch and enjoy. But no, that's the problem. That's the fundamental problem now is that's every team's strategy is to try to be super physical with UConn because they are so tough to guard. They move so much. And then it's Dan Hurley, it's UConn. They're not going to back away from a physical challenge because Dan will put them on the bench. And also you're testing their manliness. They're just not going to back down from that. And so UConn is more than happy to be physical right back with you. And then because it happens every game, UConn got this reputation of being this super physical folly team. And you watch it and they have very good technique on defense a lot of the times. And they just don't get the benefit ever.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing you hope also evens out. I don't know that it does because we've been hoping it would even out. And it becomes highlighted when this is a team that also fouls a lot. And so
They do make a lot of stupid fouls, like where they're just out of position, but a lot of the times they're not.
I'm at the point where I think, and they don't do it as much as they did last year. I think if you commit a hand checking foul 40 feet from the basket, the other team should get 5 free throws. Like, I just can't. Like, God bless him, like, Braylon's fouls were like, that's what made them frustrating, is Braylon's fouls weren't like in the act of defending a drive. It was just shit that was nowhere near the ball. And then he takes the 10 seconds in the second half before anything's even happened. But give him credit for just fighting through it and having a great second half. And now he gets his time in the People's Arena on Friday against Texas.
This team is full of fights, so they're fun to root for. But
that's my other big
has been annoying.
Like, they went and fought their way to it tonight. Like, they had to go dig that shit out. Like, it was the hardest close they're going to have all year. Like, it's the defending champ. I know there's a lot of turnover, but, like, it's a big physical team. They're not going to fucking hand it to you. I don't love the heart-stopping way it happened, but, like, it's kind of, they needed that. Like, no, you're going to have to play all 40 minutes. You can't just be up 6 with a minute to go. We're dribbling the ball out. No, Todd Golden, to his credit, was like, fuck. We are going to press these guys. I'm surprised that game didn't have pressing both ways more often, a little bit. I was really surprised we didn't try and press them. But I think Dan was just worried if they get one release valve, it is an automatic 2 points.
Yeah, no, I think they wanted to try to keep their bigs from getting out of transition because a couple times they did.
Yeah.
Not exciting.
A couple of broken plays that just, Terrace and I think Alex are both on the floor at one end at one point. I'm like, well, this isn't going to end well.
I think it was smart, too, that they recognized in the second half that maybe shots were falling a little easier on one end of the court than the other, coming off that BYU Clemson game, and then how the game played out tonight too. Like it was real.
Yeah, I'm still not sure they fixed that rim. I still don't know if they fixed it.
It was like UConn shot like 50-something% in the first half, and then 30-something% in the second half, and it was the opposite for Florida. And it was the same way in the BYU Clemson game. Like, one team had 22 points on one rim, and then BYU had 21 points on the same rim, and they both scored in the 40s on the other rim. And so, credit to Dan and the staff. Like, they went to that more defensive lineup in the second half just to try to stop Florida from scoring, because they knew that they weren't going to get buckets as easily, and they were also seemed more willing to take their free baskets in transition and try to press the issue a little bit.
The BYU thing was so wild in the building because we walked in right as that happened, and we're sitting there. It's TV timeout. We're like, there's a ladder under the rim. And then they brought up a much bigger fucking ladder. And I'm like, oh, I know what this is. And suddenly our nice, tidy 9 p.m. tip became very unrealistic.
Yeah, they just wanted you to buy some more beer.
But then, 20 a pop, by the way, at the Garden.
Not cheap. Not cheap at all.
Yeah. And then, but the end of the BYU game was fun because on the video I posted, ate a ton of shit. What isn't in the video is that Hot Balls is in the row behind me explaining to the people in his section how what BYU is going to do here is they're going to run a dummy for DeBonsa. They're going to set a high screen for Rob Wright, the third. And they did all of that, except they never set the screen. It's the funniest thing. They just don't set the screen, and he still catches it and puts up a ridiculous shot that goes in, which was really cool. And great for UConn's resume because, folks, I am the biggest BYU and Kansas fan on earth. I'm so glad Darren Peterson is back. I hope those two tie when they play. Win as many games as you can. We're going to make that. Yep, we beat Kansas. They didn't have Darren Peterson. Don't care. Just Kansas, just keep winning.
I actually was a little nervous that the BYU wouldn't age as well as some of us thought because their defense, but credit, like, they're improving. They're actually getting better.
Yeah, we were watching the first half, and I was like, first of all, there's nobody there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, is that a 24-0 Clemson run? They're just going to run BYU out of the Garden, and credit to BYU. They figured it out. And I mean, holy shit. By the way, the Debanza dunk with like
Yeah,
4 minutes to
they're
go.
using him better too.
That was at our end of the building, and I thought it was going to come down. He took off from a place. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
He's
I
different.
never understood why they tried to like post him up so much, like get him the ball like in the post so much. I mean,
They run a lot of post touches for him. It's really weird. And then eventually, as the game went on, they started doing, this is all ISO ball, which nobody on Clemson can guard.
nobody can guard.
Thing.
He's 6'9" and he has the quickest feet of like anybody in college basketball. Like it shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I've actually come around on him a lot, like because the game is just so it's insane. The game, the bounce. He hangs. His release when he elevates for the shot, he holds it for so long. His release is very long, but it doesn't matter because nobody guarding with him can defy gravity that long. They can't.
And that's why why they were doing the post catches, because like that's the move he likes to do, where he takes like the long extra step and goes into the jumper that nobody can guard. But if you just give him the ball in space and like let him get downhill, like they're either going to do what Clemson did and send a double team, and he obviously has the vision to find the open shooter, or he's just going to get to the rim, like on that dunk.
Yeah, because you can defend him and front him, and he goes up and he's like, I know eventually you're going to fall before I do. So I'm just going to hold this shit here until you're not here. And he releases and it goes right in. It's wild. It's an amazing watch. I feel fortunate and privileged. I got to watch it twice. I feel really fortunate and privileged that one of the times I wasn't involved. That was great. The whole second half, I'm like clapping like a seal when AJ's going off against Clemson. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. He's just dunking on poor Brad Brownell. It's guys who are just imploding. But yeah, a hell of an ending. Thank God they didn't play OT or we would still be in the Garden. So a wild night, hot balls. The world's most famous arena. You had a whole pizza.
I didn't eat a whole.
Okay, you had like half of a pizza.
Almost. I was starving, dude. I hadn't eaten since lunch, early morning. Been going.
That's true. Yeah, the train left. That's right. The train left at like 8 a.m. We've been going nonstop, and it's 3. We should probably call this pretty soon, because I have to get up 4 hours for the train back. Yeah, lucky me. Yeah, and it was another great day in the city. And next time back, they'll be begging us to buy tickets because St. John's can't fill the Garden because the team isn't that good. What a concept.
Jared Group Sales back. Jared Kotler Group Sales is back in business, Daddy-o.
The women are playing here, too. That'll be fun. They look good. They looked okay on Sunday. Sue Bird jersey retirement, just 70-piecing DePaul into the 15th dimension. They have to play 20 Big East women's games this year instead of 18.
Seems like a very productive use of time.
They have a huge one Saturday. Could have been bigger. This is what it is. At USC. You think Juju's just like on the call for the game? They just make the whole game about, and it sucks that she's not playing. We all know.
The Juju Watkins Invitational.
Yeah. It really sucks what happened in the injury, but like, listen, the home and home is what it is. UConn's going out to USC, 5:30 Saturday, but between now and then, Hartford, 8 p.m. Friday, your favorite athletic department in the world.
The People's Arena. We get to see the big, fat, expensive waste of time and money that is Texas athletics. Live and in person, but this time with an old friend attached to it. Dear old friend, Sean Miller.
Just pouring sweat. If the first TV timeout, he might just be floating.
Is he sweating again, or is he not sweating again? I can't.
I mean, he's at Texas now. Sweating is going to be an option.
Well, good for him. He's going to sweat a lot on Friday night. It's going to be a long night.
And joining us will be there are like a non-zero number of Xavier fans who are coming out to this game just to yell at Sean.
Totally true.
There are members of like the Roll Blob community who are coming from Cincinnati to Hartford to go to UConn, Texas. And I asked, why don't you come to the Xavier game here? And they were all like, fuck no, that's a murder. I want to clap for the murder this time. So if you see any Xavier fans Friday, buy them a beer. They've come a long way. And they're here. It's the purest hate. I can't even imagine that level of hate. That's like a 10-hour drive.
It's kind of a hate I respect.
More than 10. That's like Kentucky at that point.
It is Kentucky. Cincinnati technically is Kentucky. Well, it's not, but it is Kentucky.
They should
University of Kentucky at Cincinnati.
The least that Dan Hurley can do is have them all over to the house Sunday for the Bengals game. It's the least he can do.
Be a nice thing. Housewarming party. The inflatable Bengal.
Can you imagine Andrea Hurley when
Bengals fan 42069 rolls again.
Andrea Hurley when the roll blob guys suddenly show up in her house?
You can live loud and proud.
In the sicko room?
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Well, another great win for the UConn Huskies in the home away from home in Store South. And now it's on to Texas and then Butler. And then our lives get very boring. All they can do from here out is eat shit, which is kind of disappointing, but, heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's an 8 p.m. game Friday, so that's another late space.
This time, I promise.
It's true. It's true.
We will not have a campus full of hills to traverse. We will not have a tour of a historic venue to take. Impromptu at that. We'll not have a grand city to traverse and journey across. I will have a full belly. Will not need refueling. Fuel will be there already for me. There'll be very little distractions.
You need to be in a loge box with the big dialysis chairs. I need you just to be plugged into a system cleaning.
Tuesday, when we reintroduce Jared Thomas to the fold.
Can't believe we're letting him in the building. Some people. Door Central, turn off the act.
Collar on him. We got to put a shot collar on him. Just have him running around.
He's gonna roll up to Hartford in a tank. Our friend Jared Thomas, the founder of Store Central. Can I say that? Is that true?
Founder, but instigator.
Who was in the building tonight? Propagator. Who was in the building tonight, as was Jason Candle, UConn football head coach. Boy, I bet that was an experience for him, being surrounded by 18,000 psychopaths.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Northeast, buddy. That guy has had a full last couple of days, let me tell you.
He's got some boxes to move. Got a team to put together, but big win tonight for the Huskies. And it was a whole team effort. They had to dig really deep to get it, and they got it. And it's one of the best ways they got their fair taste of revenge. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than revenge.
Sweet.
As UConn resumes owning that program somehow. That's the fun thing about all the blue bloods / new bloods. In each of the circles of those 6 or 7 programs, there's always one matchup for each that they just get fucking owned by it. And there's one where they own the other. And ours, great last week, was Kansas. But on the other side, it's Florida. Not last year, but not 94, which is all-time disaster. But everything else has been great.
You'd say it's gravy.
And I'll give them credit. They're always down to play UConn either in Connecticut or basically in Connecticut. So respect to them. So UConn 77, Florida 73, 9-1. Things are looking good for at least one team in this godforsaken league. And only one. Was there another Big East game tonight besides Michigan murdering Villanova? I'm going to check. God, I hope not. Because it probably didn't go good. What?
We are a 72% plus, 71% plus favorite to win all but 2 of our remaining games.
Yeah.
We are a 62% favorite. Villanova on the road.
He's doing math at 3:13 in the morning.
St. John's in our home arena.
2 other Big East games tonight. It was a de facto unification match in Providence. Brown had beaten Bryant. Providence beat URI. Tonight, Providence unified the belts. They beat Brown 86-79. Not great. Congrats to Kim English.
Like hot dogs, I guess.
As the Friars improve to 7-4. And hey, DePaul, way to beat 1-8 Morgan State 92-49. Hey, listen, they didn't lose. So we will take that as the league will not play again until Friday. Missouri State, Xavier. Oh, God. That's why all the Xavier fans came out. They don't want to watch Missouri State beat Xavier. They want to come into Hartford.
Why not?
On Big Fox as the Longhorns come into Hartford.
All right, folks. Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. We will be back at you live after the Friday game.
Sooner than 1:40 in the morning.
Promise you. Actually, it better be because
You just didn't die. That's it.
I don't have a lot left. Just leave me here and let me die. But until then, folks, we'll see you Friday night. You guys know the routine. Have a great night, everybody. Keep in touch with yourselves.